It's Jason, Sarah, Mr. Y, and Mr. O. And today we watched Attack from Beneath, aka Atlantic Rim, aka something else. A bunch of monsters that destroy an oil rig, and then the government scrambles
their elite force of robots
that they just have for some reason.
NASA.
Well, I'm glad to see NASA taking an interest.
The real question, though, is this a good movie, or is this a bad movie?
Well, this is a fantastic movie.
Sarah and Mr. O feel this is not a good movie.
It has all the trappings of what could potentially be a good movie, but then runs face first into a monster from the deep.
All great movies have one thing in common: military intervention when a monster comes around. The Army, you got the Air Force, you got the Navy, you got NASA!
NASA?
We had all of the military might boiled down to red, blue, and green.
Yeah.
And that's all we needed. We needed 3 people inside of janky robots, diving to the bottom, waking up the monsters, bringing them to the shore, then murdering people.
The robots did not start this fight. That monster went after a submarine and an oil
I'll agree
rig.
with this point.
They used fossil fuels to hatch their children. And we go down and use that to what? Light these lights? To drive around? And that's the side you want to take? Alright.
What we got here is an all-American team. The good old USA, a ragtag team, hammering their way out of...
To hear you praise the military-industrial complex, we are the monsters.
Politics aside, you can't say that this wasn't an entertaining movie. Look at all the production value of it.
The 1996 to 1998 video game graphics that were used, stilted movements, flying through the city, cutting between stock footage and Asylum planting their own ads on buildings.
That's pretty awesome.
That was rad. Just the complicated love triangle. They were some kind of polyamorous throuple, and they were just angry at each other and having a tiff, but never worked anything out. The human aspect of this was just bad people helping bad people do bad things. There was nobody who was a hero.
It makes total sense that they're in some kind of relationship. They're a tight team. That's what you gotta do to fight a gigantic monster in the sea.
Were they though? Their communication was really poor about the inner workings of their relationships though, so were they that tight?
They did communicate that there was some sort of liaison occurring, and Red really didn't seem to...
He didn't believe, because he knows that's how you build a team. You share experience.
After everything we experienced, that is water under the bridge.
Why would you build a robot that walks, that has human anatomy, to go underwater?
They didn't make it for that. They meant for it to walk the earth. We need boots on the floor.
I don't understand what these robots were initially designed for.
NASA's just geniuses. They built perfect machines that can go anywhere under the earth, on the earth, above the earth, into space.
NASA puts headlights on spaceships. Why the are there headlights on spaceships?
You gotta see in space. There's a dark side of the moon!
They did also design them to have those weapons, and you couldn't use those weapons without hands to swing the swords.
Is it true?
Yeah, but mermaids have hands, and they got fins. I mean, you could have made mermaid robots. Everybody take a second. Let's think about a mermaid robot.
I'm not into it. I'm sorry.
I want to see one.
The sea dragon, or whatever we want to call it, it had its charm. It had that googly eye thing.
They never showed us when a robot would crash. They would never show it on the ground.
Yeah.
We'd get these up angles.
A lot of this was we had to fill in the blank.
You don't want to see that. You want to see the robots triumph.
I do want to see it.
You want to see the Confederacy take over. You want to see America burn.
I'm the one draped in our nation's flag.
Yeah, instead of hanging it up, flying it high in the sky.
You're right. This is against flag code. I understand.
Well, then, let's talk about something that matters.
The eye patch guy?
Yeah.
Oh, you got your classic military villain who just wants to nuke everybody. Any good movie involving the military, you gotta have a heel.
Sometimes you gotta break a few eggs, and those few eggs mean you gotta nuke New York. I mean, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying when you do it with this voice, it sounds cool.
General Banning is ready to nuke these things now.
I suggest you keep your clam shut, capiche?
He did try to like stage a little mini coup.
But Admiral Cliche got shot.
In the arm.
In
and
the
like
arm.
really minimal amount of blood. It looked like watered down.
It was like a flesh wound.
Yeah, he is fine. He's a hard military man.
Bull butter. I've seen enough damage in my time to know when it's intentional and know when it's natural.
And he had a ton of fantastic puns and quotes.
Yeah. Insults.
You're worse than my grandchildren.
Fantastic. You can't beat it.
There wouldn't even be a debate if these robots could form together into like a
But that's
mega
the
robot.
only thing that this movie was missing is some kind of Voltron assembly, but you can't really do it with 3. It would look like a weird, like, kind of totem pole thing, maybe.
The bad guys start out bad, the good guys start out good, they go on a journey, and you're supposed to end that journey having learned something and being better for the journey you went on. They ended this movie by going to get a drink.
Or you're in a
Alcohol
submarine.
is the cause of and solution to all the Earth's problems.
It does seem like that was Red's motto in particular.
Yes.
Because really, his alcoholism led to all his success.
Exactly.
There were really no
I mean,
repercussions.
There's only 2 words you need to hear to be convinced that this is a great movie. The Asylum. They may not be the biggest budget movies, but they got passion, they got heart. And I will always, always say that they're the best.
He's a loyalist.
Every time there was a key scene where we needed to see something from the beginning to the end, we had to fill it in with our own imagination. That it was such a letdown when we get to the end and they show us nothing.
Nothing really gets answered. Where we're presented with a lot of wild things that make no sense at all. There's no follow-up. Nothing, like, contextually makes any sense at all. And the storyline is very poor. I don't like it at all.
I can't make a decision. I also very much enjoy what the Asylum does, but I acknowledge you're making some valid points here. If anything, these characters kind of get worse. Is this a good movie? Is this a bad movie? Let us know in the comments down below.
You know it's good. Say it's good.
Nope.
The jury is you, the viewer at home. Was this worth the $2.95 Mr. Rose spent on it? Should he demand his money back?
You know what? It's yours. You can have this.
Victory.
Not victory. You can have the
Victory.
DVD. I did not say you had victory. I said you had the bad movie you can take.
Oh, personal victory for me.
All right, thanks for watching.
Bye.
We'll see you next time.
I'm about to win the Medal of Honor on this.